Um, Whoever's calling in, the whole thing went haywire on me. So jump back on if you want. This is a continuation. This isn't a second live. I'm glad I was able to get back on. As some of you know, I work from my phone. Yes, I do have a studio. Yes, I can record in a studio. No, I'm not in the West Village anymore. No, I'm not in that part of Manhattan anymore. I'm in Brooklyn now, in Bushwick. The new collab should be coming back. Oh, I'm sorry. A new collab should be coming out, so I will be back with swag. I'm trying to get the exact cost. I don't want anybody paying more than they have to. Again, I'm not in this for the money. I think the Hootie Social Club eventually will take off as a clothing line. It's a great concept. The album was designed with a little tweaking by me and by somebody that was very special and dear and near to me. 91 was the year I got it, and when my life changed. So there's a good concept behind that, and I had big help with that certain merch from someone. We have now parted ways, not on bad terms, but just parted ways because there's no reason to mean drama where the person doesn't need it in their life, and I understand it. I've been dealing with the hate and the drama all my life, so I'm gonna continue doing it. But like I said, if someone's ever spent the day because of me, bring it forward. What's up, Skywalker? 1827, I see you. I will get, if he's got questions, I'll be sticking around on here. I'll answer them when I'm done letting, everything known. But do I believe in guys? Absolutely. Guys want to change their life and come forward and do what they did. That's why, me and Gene, we were acquaintances in the streets. I was actually closer to a lot of family members of his than him. Now, well, I'm hoping in the future when he gets off all of this, or if he gets allowed to, we do a show together. We kick it together like we used to, out there playing handball, working out. Yeah, he's a friend now. We were close acquaintances growing up when he was younger, but yeah, nobody else. So you got to trust somebody, right? But they never say don't trust anybody, but I do. There's one I do. So, and that's my life. I film from a phone. I'm not going into the studio. I'm not looking to make money at this. I'm looking to take another lane and eventually be able to move on from the two jobs that I'm working and work a better job, maybe again, moving out of state and buying another house. It's not a dream. There's plans and some goals, but like I said, getting in trouble, signing my name for embezzlement or wire fraud or anything else, that's not in the cards for me. I didn't stay home for 5 years, decide that I want to start all of a sudden doing paper fraud. No. And if, do I know? Yes, Frankie Pasquale, we have met. He'll be going on Vlad soon, this month. Do I know him personally as a person? No, I know him. I met him. Seems like a great guy. He's an ex-street guy, so when you say great guy, meaning how he treated me, and the respect was in return that I gave him back. And Gene speaks very highly of him. The captain in my crew, Alphonse, spoke very highly of him. So that's all I know of Frankie. He's going through things right now, so I can't be around him. I met him before that one time. Luciano, real. I don't know. I didn't know the guy. I know people wanted to interview him a few times. He was supposed to come on the other show with the crackhead, and I wouldn't go on with him. The West Coast guys that I used to do the show with, I'm Cali and JC. I got no beef with those guys. They're good with me. Me and Cali spoke. We were always just in contact behind the scenes here and there about projects that were going on in our own lives personally. And me and JC was just talk over the internet. There was nothing there at all. There was nothing to be, Just two ex-street guys. I said one thing, he pushed it a little further. That was it. End of story. It's over now. It's just bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm just glad it's not like it was in the street days. Things would probably get worse with other people. You know what I mean? He's an ex-street guy. I'm an ex-street guy. And I'm glad the word X comes before that. Ronnie One Arm's nickname in front of him when he was. We had a lot of nicknames for Ronnie. I mean, he knew he was Ronnie One Arm because he would leave messages when people would say, well, who should I tell him was here? And he would say, tell him Ronnie One Arm was here. Or Ronnie from Alba. Or Ronnie from here. Or Ronnie from there. He didn't shy away from anything because the one good arm, he'd knock your fucking teeth out. Okay? And besides that, I've seen him myself. And this is the one thing that I always loved about Ronnie. There's a lot of things. There was a lot of great qualities about Ronnie. And there was a lot of things that he was a captain. He was a street guy. He didn't trust anybody. So if he treated you a certain way or spoke about you a certain way when you weren't around, it's expected. But he was a captain that you would go out with, and he'd want to roll around and fight in the street. And the first couple times, I got scared. Because scared in the way of like, damn, you're going to have the whole Gambino family looking to clip me if something happens to this guy. But he's not like that. He's a street guy. He jumps. And believe me, there's a lot of captains, if they got their collars dirty while you were with them, there was 14,000 sit-downs the next day. Not Ronnie would roll around in the streets. There was a big fight. I can't be one to tell the story of it. I know the story. I wasn't in Howard Beach at the time, but there was a bar called Characters, and it was Vinny Asara, who's from the Bananas, Skinny Dom, who was Ronnie One Arm's captain at the time, and Ronnie One Arm, who was a soldier at the time. And they were in the streets with one of the guys that jumped off the global plea that they still talk to today. And stand-up guy, not taking anything away from him, and I'm not talking bad about that person. My whole point with that was, not jumping off subject, is that these guys still get spoken to today and not called a rat and don't get abused, which I don't mind. I'm taking that all in. I'm just explaining to you what I did in the category that I'm in, and it's a lot worse for me. But he was a stand-up guy. He was tough guy. Used this and used these, and nothing against him. And he did the same thing I did, and he's still involved in wise guys' lives, not doing crime, but as friends. And that's all I did. And I'll bring on the tapes and I'll bring on the paperwork when we go back on to Vlad on the panel version that we're gonna do, and I'm gonna show you all. And I don't care if people have paperwork that say that I was in Witsack, that say I was in the phone. I don't care. Bring me the guy that spent a day in jail because of me. That's what you're worried about, okay? Which I don't care. I consider myself a rat. I consider myself, well, I don't know how many times I have to say that. My good friend, the only person that in the street that I considered a friend now, who's on house arrest, who I can't be around, that's what he is, so I stand by that. But all these other guys that jumped over global pleas, they're going out to dinners, they're on vacations, they're getting phone calls from jail. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Bobby Glass is a Mad Hatter. No, he wasn't a Mad Hatter. He did something years ago, and it came back to bite him in the ass. He was a respected man, and what a lot of people don't understand, and I'll get into the stories later, I met Bobby before he was a made guy. Then when Bobby got made, we were there. We had like a lunch. I spoke about that after he got made to congratulate him. And then when he got upped, we all went to the club, his cafe, congratulated him. But because I knew him, not on a personal level, as a hello and goodbye hootie, and as come by and have a cup of coffee hootie, that time. And that's what that life is. I didn't get shunned from congratulating him or saying hello in that circle. That's why when you hear all these rules, like I told you, you had an associate who was hanging out with and answering to a captain every day. And he's passing his name around because he was clueless that the upper echelon was, and he was part of the upper echelon. I just guess they kept him out of it. We're going to shoot it down anyway. And that was the only reason why Alphonse, the captain of my, okayed the list, because he knew it was going to get shot down. So he didn't want to look like a scumbag to the guy that he shot him down. Listen, he's been playing chess in any movie he's ever made, any situation he's ever made. His move's always been playing chess. He okayed the list because he knew it was never going to happen. And then everybody blamed me. They have the court minutes. Jerry Capeci actually reported it word for word what the judge said and the prosecution, and I had nothing to do with. I had nothing to do with that part of the case, and everybody stopped talking to me, my own family. Speaking of, and I had nothing to do with his case whatsoever. And his extra time that they thought that he got because of me, a couple extra years for drug dealing. Me and the man were enemies. We wouldn't split a nickel bag together. Nevertheless, commit crimes where he got 4 extra years. He got 4 extra years because that's what the judge gave him, because what he got caught on tape saying. People need to get that right. I got nothing to do with that man's case. All right, because if I did, his co-defendant came in and got 19 years, not 24. Brad, to be honest with you, I think he's just mentally challenged, buddy. That guy's off his rocker. He told the world he was going to have Joe Watts on. Is that not something sick? It just, him is a guy that I can never go near again or be around. JC, M. Cali, we're all good, even though we've not spoken or hung out. But me and M. Cali were always good from day one. And me and JC put whatever we had to bed. It was a bullshit YouTube couple comments. And it's over. I don't even need to talk about that anymore. You know, 2 X Street guys. Like I said, thank God the word X is in front of both of our names when people say that. Or don't say I'm an X Street. Say I was a nobody. Please. Like I always tell people, go to the feds. Go to New York State. I've seen it twice from 2 different Mexicans, and I know exactly what you mean. All right, Mr. No Name. Appreciate you. Underscore. Calandria. I got no beef with Calandria at all. I think the whole thing with Calandria just got, again, I think he thought that I was good friends with somebody he had problems with and just threw me in with it. I don't know. I went back at him a little bit because I reached my hand out to him. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I got. You know, drop kick in the chest. Grown ass man. 50-something years old. I'm going to drop kick people in the chest. Pazzo, appreciate you, dog. Nothing about the life, Johnson. Nothing. Don't know nothing about the street life. Nothing. Been arrested for absolutely the dumbest crimes in the world. Yes, me and him are just fine. I mean, but with, like I said, I don't see him. I don't see him. We're not friends. Gene is in the middle of both of us. I don't speak for him. But we're not enemies. We don't know each other like that. You know what I mean? He's 2 generations ahead of me. Meaning guys that we hung out with. So I don't know him like that. I know his reputation. I know what was done. And what I can say he's done, that I know to be true, as a stand-up guy and a shooter and a killer and a stabber and batting people. Yes, I've known that. I've seen some of it, but didn't know the man personally. And I don't know him personally now. We're just acquaintances through a friend, a mutual friend, who is Gene. And a lot of people are getting that twisted. I don't speak for him. We don't hang out. We don't break bread. But I have nothing with the man at all anyway. So I respect his game, his hustle. You know, good luck to him in the future. And I wish him nothing but the best and fame and money. Whatever he is that he wishes for, I don't know. I don't get involved in that. Jimmy C is a good guy, but I think he's scared to make friends after being betrayed. And he don't need to make friends. Listen, in the real world, and I'm talking about the real world because I'm not talking about the life. What happens is you have friends, right? You meet a girl, you get engaged, you get married, you have the parties, you have the weddings. Your wife and your kids become your friends. You don't make friends. If you got brothers and cousins that you're close to, they're part of your close circle. If you go play softball on Sundays in the summer, football in the winter, and you have a Thursday night, guys' night, card game, out for a drink. I don't do Monday Night Football, but that's what we did. That's what you do. You don't need friends when you're 50-something years old like Jimmy Clay. His friends is his wife and his kids. You know what I mean? Do I like the way he went about our friendship? No. You know, I thought that it could have been handled a lot better. But do I have any issues? I have 0 issues with him. I have 0 issues with anybody who's spoken bad of my name. I don't. I have 0 issues with one guy that I helped with a show. I will never be friends with again because I don't get down like that. Everything, when people go out and say things about family and parents, and there's no forgiveness. The other drama that was between me and others, it wasn't, nothing went that far. And when you're trying to help somebody go down a path that wasn't Cosa Nostra, but you go on and help them with Cosa Nostra, and then they stick with that, it's not your lane. Get out of it. Get out of that lane. Go help whatever it is that you do in your life. But it's not my business to tell anybody what they do. 38. What's that, Lexi Johnson? What's 38 mean? Your age? So now, you guys keep talking about Sonny Money. Okay. He's Sonny Island. I guess he keeps getting shut down. And Gian had a super chat. Yeah, listen, this is my first time doing this. I don't know what a super chat is. I know it's when a bunch of people get together and supposedly scroll. What am I scrolling? Scroll. I don't know. These guys got to help me with this stuff. Are you people donating money? Is that what that is? The $5 and stuff? Who's that? Gian? Hey guys, if you guys are throwing money in there, I appreciate you. Thank you. You just don't have to do Huntington criteria, early 2000. Who'd that belong to? Did you know the Coco's nightclub in Huntington criteria? I did. And yes, I'm pretty sure that was a banana place. Brad. Yo, your shit is awesome. Yes, he's definitely something wrong with him, like mentally. And I'm not talking about crazy mentally, like something wrong with him. Hershey would have done anything to get straightened out. Just rumor. Shane Dom is a guy that you really don't even, that's a guy like you hate to even mention his name because he's a serious guy. And he had 2 great mentors, so by all means, he was going to be straightened out no matter what. He's not missing an arm. When he was younger, it got ran over, and it just never grew past what it was. So he does have an arm, hand, fingers, and everything. It just didn't grow to its full potential that it's supposed to as a human being. Heard you mention Supreme Team on the A-Light podcast with Gene. You heard about 50 Cent in the streets before he blew up. I knew, actually, here's the thing, I'm bullshitting, but when 50 got shot, he got brought into Jamaica Hospital. And Ryan Giolenzo's nephew was in the hospital, and he's like, there's some guy here. Ryan O'Rourke, what's good, baby? I'm going to try to get to all of you guys. I really wanted to just get to the stories. But a quick story, Ronnie G's nephew was one of my closest friends in the streets. Everybody hated him. Everybody disliked him. I was one of the only guys. And I had crazy love for him. Crazy love. Richie boy, crazy love. I got crazy love for him right now. He's not into the streets or anything like that. He doesn't commit crimes. And his whole crew, I don't want to mention their names because they probably don't want me to. But all the guys that he hung out with, nothing but love for, and all legitimate guys. All legitimate guys. Got number love for all those guys from How Beach that he hung out with. Whatever happened to Cliffy? Ryan? Well, he's still around. He's still in the neighborhood. That's one of the guys I was talking about that, still hangs out. Cliffy's a stand-up guy. Okay, what any of you say, and he's a tough guy. Legitimate tough guy. He'll fight with you, stab you, he'll shoot you. He's a legitimate guy. I'm not saying that's what he's out doing. Why did Ozone Park empty so much of the all clubs and spots? All the hoods changed, sure, but the spots remained. What do you mean? The clubs got bought out. The Middle Easterns bought it. The Middle Easterns bought out Ozone Park. They started in South Ozone Park and worked their way all the way to the end of Ozone Park into the beginning of East New York, up City Line, and bought everything. To end all was when Aldo's one sold to a guy called Aldamina. Was like the Aldo of the Middle Easterns. And they called him Aldamina. I think he wanted to be like Aldo. He wanted to own Aldo's restaurants because it was the last Italian pizzeria where the old school would still hang out in front. Like an old school pizzeria. Not like how all the pizzerias are pizzeria restaurants. Aldo's was always just a pizzeria in City Line. And that was to end all. For the Italians, Irish, and Polish that lived in that area. All right, Sonny Money was Sonny Island, okay? Sonny Island, father's very sick. He's not, listen, I don't think he's getting the help he needs. I will not talk bad about Sonny. He can rip me up after this. Even he does it all the time. Like he was supposed to meet me at my barber shop because he lived in the area one time where I used to get my hair cut. I got nothing against Sonny. I did in passing speak with his parent. One I think it was his father in the background, and they were late related to Sonny Francis somehow, distant marriage, cousins, something like that. That's why he calls himself Sonny. His idol, Sonny Francis, and John from the John and Gene show, absolutely, which I have no part of that. The John and Gene show helped him. He was being bullied. He was addicted to drugs. There was a lot of things, plus mental health. He went, he got help, he got clean, got a job, got himself together, talks to his parents with respect, but he talks to nobody else with respect. Has a lot of respect for John and Gene's show. He said it saved his life. Then he moved on to me after he seen me on the show, and I helped him the best way that I can, and he was very grateful for it. He goes off a little bit, but you have to understand something. He still gets bullied to this day, but he goes for his. He sticks up for himself. Or does he go out there and does he do wrong? He making fun of people on videos. He goes right up to guys and makes fun of them on his videos and gets beat up. I don't talk to him anymore. We hit once in a while. He'll hit me up on IG, and I'll get back at him. I wish nothing for the best for him, but he's not ready yet. He will stick up for the John and Gene show to the end of time. I don't know how long he'll stick up for the Hootie platform. I don't need him to, but I know he does write some good things. He used to be Sonny Island, like I said. Please, anybody out there, don't mess with Sonny. Leave Sonny alone. You want to talk to him, talk to him. I see people keep sending me flashes of every show that's putting up Sonny money. And I'm like, why people? This is a guy. Reach out to him and help him. If he talks bad about you, if you're a podcaster and you're an influencer and you say you want to help people, don't take what he says to heart and help him. Let him curse you out. Now listen, there's a line. You don't talk about people's parents. You don't talk about people that's dead in people's families. You don't do that. All the other stuff is nonsense. Sonny Money is Sonny Island, and he needs help. Okay? He's still getting picked on. He's still getting bullied. He's in recovery. He's working the steps. Even though he uses the word junkie and this and that, he's been clean. He don't want to go back to drugs. He does work. He does make money for himself. He's a very, very young kid. And listen, he said some whacked out shit to me 3, 4, 5 in the morning. And I don't block him because it might be that one time that I can talk him off the ledge. Because there's been times he's wanted to take his life. And I've spoken to him. And I got him off that ledge. You know what I mean? I'm not literally the ledge, but if you know how street talk goes, I got him off the ledge. You know what I mean? Help Sonny Money. Sonny Island. Help him. All right? Now, I'm not saying he's a charity case, but he needs guidance. He's a young kid that's been guided the wrong way. His parents, he's very good. He's not disrespectful. He respects them. And listen, my bad, guys. I'm getting a lot of phone calls. I'm supposed to be home, but I'm staying another week, relaxing. Yeah. So yeah, Sonny Money, my man. Supreme Sunday, everybody. Much love. For me, I forgot to do my Wu-Tang Wednesday, but I'll have a Supreme tea on tonight. Foo Fighters are performing at Lala, so I'm saving the Supreme for that tonight. Again, I don't think that guy could work at a lemonade stand. All right, listen, I understand, guys. Listen, all I'm trying to do is give yous who Sonny Money is. I know a lot of people putting question marks, putting things out there. It's a young man who needs help. Now, like I said, if he talks about the dead, your parents, your wife, your kids, that's crossing the line, all right? Other than that, take it with a grain of salt. The man has been bullied. The man had an addiction at a young age. Listen, he can talk shit to me today. That's why I've never blocked him. And I'll still reach out my hand and try to help him because I know there's guys that there's just no help for that you don't reach your hand out to. Sonny's got a lot of work to do. I know he's a diehard Gene guy, and I love that. So he goes hard for them. Half the time he goes hard for me, half the time he don't. But like I said, I don't care. I don't need him to. I don't ask him to. I just want to make sure he's okay. He's a very, very young. So I just wanted to get a few of those things straight. Let you guys know things are good. Resting up in the sun. Humidity's terrible here. Gene is on house arrest. Laid up somewhere, far away in a family member's place by himself. I feel bad for my man because he's got to be alone, but he's got to do it. Listen. He's doing what he's got to do. He's got a good job lined up for him. He's got a great future. Why is Gene slow vids? He didn't slow the vids down. His channel got jacked, and people know why his channel got jacked because they knew this is people with money. For anybody to notice, I didn't know his stipulations until I spoke to his family member who told me afterwards. He can't open a new channel. He can only use the channel that was already existed before he got violated. That's why. So if he can't, who is very good, decent of you to help. Listen, I try my best, my man. I try to help anybody I can. I've reached my hand out for so many people. And I'm going to tell you this. People in high positions, people with big money, they call me crazy. They tell me I'm out of my mind. All these felonies, all these trouble. Don't you understand? These people get you arrested. They get arrested, it's a slap on the wrist. You get arrested, Hootie, it's big time. CND 758, sending love. Kevin, thank you, brother. Staying strong. Always. None of this has ever got me down, guys. I don't want you to ever think. Listen, everything, it was something that Gene had told his family member to tell me when he came home from prison. Well, from his violation. And I know guys that were in there with him. So that was a very bad statement somebody made about him. It's going into legal hands now, so I can't talk about it. Someone made a bad statement about him while he was away. It never happened. I know somebody that was with him in Gen Pop. It never happened. And the videos aren't slowed down. He can't get them out because he can only use one channel. That's why they hacked that channel, because they knew he couldn't open another one. He could only keep that channel open because it was already open before his violation. I explained this earlier. All right, what's good, Hoodie? RG123. Pazzo. Good. About who? Miss can't be wrong. About who what? Are you having your own convo? Looking back, guys, I appreciate you guys. Just let me know who you are that sent the donations to the site. I give you a shout out. I had no idea that's what was going on. This is my first live YouTube. I fought for it, guys, this whole week. Sebastian _ Rex, appreciate you from Europe. Yeah, I had to fight for you to get these guys. 401, support 81. 81, yes, sir. Lexi Johnson, 81. If you're having a super chat in there, if that's what that is, much love. I'd appreciate it if the community that does support me do get together and get to know each other, and maybe your stories can help each other, and maybe you could get, gain a friend. I'm always hit you guys. You hit me up on the DM within 24 hours. Everything's answered. Everything's spoken about. I'm an open book. Anything you just want to know. Gene is back on for a day. What happened? Again, channel hacked. But it's not a BS story. Somebody knew his stipulations that he couldn't open a new YouTube channel. So his existing channel, somebody, what you think about this new wave of mob rat exposures? All right, listen. So you all know, if you ain't been in the streets, if you go to work every day, 9 to 5 for the last 25 years, when anybody comes on here and talks one thing about a crime, one thing about somebody committing a crime, one thing, if the person's dead and he committed a crime, that is considered a rat. I don't call people rats, but that's a rat. So all these people And these people that hide behind accounts, that want to expose rats, that's a rat. Say who you are. Jerry Capeci comes right out, tells you who you are. That's this other guy that runs with the regime from Rhode Island. I don't know. He had a beef with Jerry Capeci one time. I'm not mentioning his name. I mentioned Jerry's name because, listen, if there's anybody, forget about the fourth most expert in anything, third most expert, Jerry, nobody. And from the Negrada to the Bananas in Canada to the Gambinos in Ozone Park knows more than Jerry Capeci. I'm telling you this first-hand knowledge. Nobody knows more than Jerry Capeci. You can listen, you can read all these books, all these CNNs, all these Fox. Jerry Capeci. Do I know the man? No. Do I like what he does? No, but I gotta respect it. I've seen him in the courtroom. He's written every court appearance that I had. Jerry Capeci was there writing. And now I'm not saying that I was the big deal during that court appearance, but other people were. So believe me, if I was testifying, Jerry Capeci would have been there. If I was putting somebody in jail, Jerry Capeci would have been there. If I was putting dope in my arms, Jerry Capeci would have been there. Okay? He knows more than anybody. I don't have to get paperwork. Jerry Capeci writes once a week, and if there's a case going on, he gives you word for word what was said in the minutes of the sentencing, and he gives you word for word what was said in trials. You don't even have to go and get court transcripts. Just put in the date, put in people's cop-out pleas, anybody that's involved in Cosa Nostra, and it's in gangland. I'm not promoting gangland. I'm not plugging Jerry Capeci, but you don't need paperwork. Jerry Capeci sits front row at every RICO organized crime, cop-out, trial, any case. You don't even need court transcripts. Jerry Capeci gives it to you right on his website. Not when the opening page. You have to subscribe to him, and he will give you the minutes. He says it, word for word. What you say, what the AUSA says, and what the judge says, and what the jury says, and what the jury foreman says. He reports on everything. You don't need paperwork. Anybody that's an informant, cooperator, rat that you call, Jerry Capeci writes on it. You don't need paperwork. I've sent it to people that claimed guys got 50 years because of me, guys got 25 years because of me. I love all this paperwork. Just go read Jerry Capeci. All the guys that have claimed they got that time, none of them have that time. None of them got it because it's all written in there. Getting back to the other thing, what was funny, when I don't know the exact day, again, Gene's got a great support system around him. His family keeps him sheltered from the outside so he can't get violated again because of those reasons. And he had sent me a message. I guess he started reading what was said, and he was told by his family what was said. And he had a great point. He's the one that made me actually repay. He is a millionaire of this stuff, bro. So I'd say he has a life. You're right, unfortunately. He does, you're right. But like I said, I give respect where respect is due. The one person that I try to help, I will never give that person respect. They know zero about anything. And then all these other guys that jumped on and wanted to give him a shout out, I did it. I did it on that, or wanted to help him. And I warn them, and they don't want to, then they're fools for that. They're fools for that. But anybody else, I have no problems with. And these other people that want to have problems with me because they think I'm running with somebody else and I'm friends with somebody else, I'm not. I know them. They're an associate. I don't plug them. I don't hang out with them. What's your relationship with who? I couldn't see. You asked me what was my relationship with somebody. I don't know. I couldn't see the name. It faded. They're wrong. And to go into restaurants and eat, or go into bars, or go into clubs and say that, you're wrong. Okay? So, the message that was sent was, all this stuff that I'm reading, who was actually too hyped up. Crazy. I'm actually in contact with somebody in that camp. He was there. He actually said, did you do business with Eddie? No business with that man. He was the generation ahead of me, out of his, and I'm going to say this live, out of his fucking mind. You didn't want to go near him. Keith, Victoria, you know me, Keith. You know I didn't have no dealings with that man. No, no, not at all, not at all. From how I could put it, we didn't get along in the streets. We'd walk past each other. Not that he would want to stab me or baseball bat me, or I would want to do the same to him. I was younger than him, but he would always have something crazy to say to me. That was who he was. But that's who he was with everybody, his own friends. Well, so he wasn't my circle. We grew up, went to the same elementary school together. He lived 1 block away from me, but we didn't run together. But I had no problems with the man. But he's out of his He's not a guy to be played with. Out of his fucking mind. Cosa Nostra couldn't control him. So that's probably why everybody in Cosa Nostra knows who he is, but couldn't control him. I don't know anything about Angels. I don't know Angel and the suing gene. I have no knowledge of that whatsoever. That's something didn't mean anything. But no, Keith, I know you didn't. Not at all. But I kind of thought you knew. I kind of thought that you knew. Like that wasn't my. I know because you know what it is, Keith. Gene, no, he's on house arrest. Gene's on house arrest. He's not locked up for what? He didn't do anything wrong. Nothing at all. He's obeying all his rules. He's got a great job. He's got a great support system. He's going to come out. He's going to go to work. He's going to stay away from it. He's going to follow his guidelines. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. He's got a bracelet. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. He's not doing anything wrong. That whole thing was taken. That was misunderstanding. Let's talk about the Providence, brother. You ever do any business here? Absolutely. Love Rhode Island. Shout out to Tammy. Rhode Island. Federal Hill. Yeah, no. What a lot of people get twisted, a lot of the kids that grew up with him, Keith, I was very close with. One of them was one of my children's godfather. I ran with a lot of them. I did a lot of things with a lot of them, but not necessarily him. And I was friends with Gene's cousin, who was his best friend. When we were kids, I was friends with him. We miss Raymond. Raymond Patriarch. Held it down. Rhode Island for years. That Patriarch family, like, there's a lot of people that call other organized crime families in other states and other cities. We call them the Mickey Mouse Mafia. The Patriarch family were the furthest things from a Mickey Mouse Mafia. Furthest thing from it. You know? And then, as well as guys that come on here and like, I hate rats. I don't deal with rats. I wasn't a rat. I did 15 years. I did 13 years. Well, listen, if you were looking at 30 to life, which there's no such sentence in the feds, and then you end up with whatever, between 12 and 15 in the state, you weren't that important, and there's also something fishy. Then you come online for no reason at all and talk about guys that got shot, guys that shot people for you, guys that you robbed. You're a rat. So you can't come on here and say you hate rats, you're not a rat. Once you come on YouTube and mention a crime, if you're not talking about music, the entertainment world, women, I can come on here and we can talk about women all day long. We can make a great subject about women. I love women. Anybody that knows me knows that. We could go on for days talking about my my endeavors with women, but I don't. I talk about what I did, who I was, and listen, in the eyes of the life, you're a rat. So when you come on here and you're talking about past crimes and what you did, you're a rat. You come on here talking about what other guys did, I don't care if they're dead. For you, you're a rat. So people gotta stop believing. They can do whatever they want. I'm not telling anybody how to run their show. But the supporters, which I call supporters, they call you fans and groupies. How do you listen to a guy who calls you his fan or his groupie? Or a guy that says you can't afford to listen to him? Or a guy, any of this nonsense. It's not entertainment then anymore. You guys are my supporters because I want you to help get my message across. I want you to start groups together so you can get the messages to each other and maybe learn something. That's what this is all about. And I already know it doesn't matter that I'm preaching against it. I was already told. Yeah, Patreon's a scam. Listen, to me, If people are, again, people are going to take this the wrong way. I'm not talking about them. I want nothing to do with it. Wild Bill, very respected. Didn't know the man, didn't get to know the man, lived by the rules. There's certain guys that live by the rules, couldn't go around them. He was a Colombo anyway, so I wouldn't have been around him, but I did know Colombos, wise guys, made guys, captains, street guys that did know him, and guys that were actually on the side that didn't like him, talk good about him. Never heard a bad word. Gentleman, a man's man, stand-up guy, give you the shirt off his back. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about Wild Bill. And when I was in the streets and he was alive, I've heard nothing but wonderful things about him. To this day, what I've heard about Wild Bill is still the same thing that I heard when he was in the streets. So a lot of respect to Wild Bill and his family, and Bill Jr. as well. Going out to them. Wild Bill was a real dude. And believe me, a real dude. And he was a stand-up guy. And he was a family man too, which you don't find that. He was a father, he was a grandfather. He was a man's man. He dressed the part, he looked the part. He was a businessman as well. He was no donkey, he was a businessman. Of course he dressed well. He was a good-looking man, dapper. Absolutely. Never seen him out of place when I did see him. If I was ever in Brooklyn and there was somewhere he was, and not that, never had contact with him, always. Hair done, shaved, fresh shaved all the time. Great smile, a man's man. Very rare in 2021. How does The Sopranos compare? Nothing. They used a lot of stories. Davy Chase is a genius. He knew a lot of people from the life. Davy Chase did things his way and only his way. That's what made The Sopranos great. I didn't see it until 2015. It took me a month. I watched the full season, series, the whole thing. Genius work. Nothing. I know those guys, Vinny Ocean, or these guys that found out that it was about them. They actually got a kick out of it, from my understanding. Did you ever hang out at? Of course. Whenever Aqueduct, we would go. Aqueduct, Belmont, Saratoga, every year. I was a big guy in Freehold. That beautiful racetrack we used to go to all the time in Jersey. Oh, it was a beautiful racetrack. Hialeah down Miami. Yes, we love the horses. Yes, Wild Bill kept, from my understanding, 11th Avenue, just like how 101st Avenue was. Wild Bill kept 11th Avenue, and even more than 11th Avenue, where the women and the children and the old ladies could walk by and be safe in their neighborhood. I've heard that about him. Again, Keith, nothing, bro, I didn't take offense to that whatsoever, but a lot of people knew and seen that I ran with guys that ran with him. So they always thought that. But no, I ran with a ton of guys. One of them is godfather to one of my children. So yes, I ran with a lot of guys. I was close with a lot of guys that he ran with. I went to elementary school with him. But me and him just never, I got nothing with him. I couldn't tell you if he has anything with me, but I never had nothing with him. We never did anything. And like I said, he was a generation right after me. Bobby Bob. Are you asking me about Ruggianos or the Ruggierios? Couldn't see that too well. So yeah, so the message that Gene had said to his family, that said back to me, from everything that he was hearing and everything that he read, he said, you've been accused of everything that you've never been convicted of. He said, all the crimes from when you were 16 on, you've not been accused of one of them on the internet. That's how you know what they're saying is BS. Okay? Now, if I had the money that these people claim that I got high with, if anybody knows me, I'll be driving a foreign car. I'll be wearing limited clothing. I'll be labeled Gucci down to the socks, rings and watch filled with rocks. That's how I get down. That's why I tell you, if you ever see me, with the box logos, with this, that's just me flipping one to the other. Never, I haven't bought a piece of clothing out of pocket. I couldn't tell you how long. I don't live like that anymore. But I do flip one shirt for another shirt, flip two shirts for one shirt. Never did it before. It's new to me, but it keeps me busy in, the time that I do get off. Very rare, but it's like a hobby. That's my hobby. People like to, I don't know, collect things, art, whatever. I like to collect clothes without having to come out of my pocket like I used to. Before I would just buy clothes, put the sneakers in the closet, never wear them. Now I make sure I have the right ones, not just to buy them, and I make sure I don't come out of pocket for anything. It's getting rid of one to get two, or getting rid of two to get one. That's what I do, a trade-off. And so, yeah, so it was pretty funny that everything that's being written on the internet is things that I was never accused of when I was in the streets. But what can you do? So listen, I got about 10 minutes left here. Ruggierios, I won't speak on them because I don't think they would take kindly to that. Nothing but there's probably not a family more that I have respect for than that last name. And believe me, there's probably 90% of the people in the street will agree with me with that. The Cavalcanti guys, nah. I know a few of the Gambinos and Upper Echelon have sat down with them, but I never had. Enjoy your content, Hootie, keeping it real. What's up? What was that? Enrico D, my man. Mateo. Hootie, did you know the boxer? They're fading away, guys. I can't get you. Let me see. Let me see if I can start from the beginning. What else was I touching on? What was I talking about? So yeah, like I said, Sonny Money is Sonny Island. Guys, just help him if you can. And if you can't, you can't. Shout out and good luck to the FBS. I'm hoping everything works out for you, brother. I was still chatting it up. Keep doing you, Hootie, FG. Did you even meet Pop Freeman, Genovese associate, black from Queens? Yes, I did. Never met him. Was around him. What happened? We got booted a minute. Yeah, we did. Somebody called in. Or know of him. Charlie, know of him. I didn't know what you wrote before that. 21-21-7. You used to party at the Jersey Shore. Nah, never. We went there once and it was a mockery. We were guys that didn't like to get our shoes dirty. And like, I don't know if you remember this old bar called Patty McGee's. Used to hate going there on Long Island, but it was a great time. Sunday afternoons. But the floor was so filthy with mud and disgusting. I mean, you just walk in there ruining an $800 pair of shoes. Like, it was just disgusting. The Jersey Shore was just like that. We go to places by Tom's River, by the Jersey Shore, right outside. Consider the Jersey Shore. That were really nice. Yes, spent a lot of time down there. LBI, Long Beach Island, very nice. I'm trying to get to all you guys. If you got anything for me, holla at me now. I'm hoping they keep my lives going, and I'll do more of them as I get to know them better. I really do appreciate all the support. And like I said, I mailed those shirts out to the 30 people because there was actually people that were with me from the beginning that were calling up people going, you still listening to Hootie? Did you hear about him? He's a thief and a junkie. First of all, you're on a Cosa Nostra channel. I was never a thief, but what'd you expect from a guy? And what does being a thief and a junkie have to do with my content? So I'm ashamed of a lot of you people. Even though I'm none of the above, and if anybody knows me in the streets, I'll go out and sell drugs before I rob somebody. Never. Not even a pack of gum. It's not who I am. You could believe it, I could care less. It's not who I am. But my crime days are over. I'm looking to build, maybe become a supervisor, maybe become something in a company. Go back to work in construction and become a sub or a general manager or a super, whatever. That's what I'm looking to do and live my life out. I'm not looking to be Don Chichi. Who the fuck wasn't a junkie? It's not what you did. It's what you do now. Francis Martino. That's what I'm talking about. Just curious. Henry, curious about what? I'll answer whatever questions you got. Who have you dealt with that were actually made men, bro? Everybody. If anybody knows me, and if you ever listen to anybody that knew me in the street, listen to Gene Pop, everybody I knew was made. Hootie tracksuits are coming. Absolutely. I will listen, we don't have to call them velour suits, terry cloth. That's what we're going with. Terry cloth, never go out of style. As long as you get the right fit on top, You zip it up, or it's a terry cloth suit, sweatsuits with the pullover or 3/4 zip will always be in style. I'm actually right now working out some deals to get some Fila. Fila's coming back. But like I said, I don't come out of pocket. I got to work out deals. Where can we talk if they shut you down? Always hit me on my DM. Francis, always hit me on my DM. They can't shut me down on that. Zagazow. Time with the Boston guys. Love Boston. Second favorite city. Second favorite city. And listen, because with the Red Sox hate us. It's the same thing where the Mets hate the Yankees more than Yankee fans. Listen, we don't hate the Mets as much as the Mets hate us. And we don't hate Boston as much as Boston hates us. I mean, that whole shenanigans, what Pedro did, I'll never have respect for Pedro Martinez in my life. Touching the Zim, you never touch the Don. I don't care if he's coming at you, let him hit you. Let him beat you up. Let him crack you. We all miss Gene, Bobby Bob. We all do. You don't put your hands on the Zim. There's certain guys, Kurt Schilling, the Sock, Johnny Damon kept his mouth shut, played ball, wanted to win. That's why I accepted him as a Yankee. Roger Clemens, never liked. You know why? You don't throw at the captain. Mike Piazza was a big boy. When that whole thing with the bat and him throwing the bat back at him, childish, should have broke his jaw. I'm pretty sure Clemens ain't that good of a fighter, as big as he is. But he threw at the El Capitan. You don't hurt the Capitan. Okay? Don Mattingly. Lexi. Don Mattingly is part of my GOAT. He is... I gotta say, Terry Cheetah is like one of my favorite athletes of all time. Michael Jordan is my favorite athlete. He's the GOAT. When you guys want to talk GOAT, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. That man, you gotta understand, he's culture changing. Remember that, the sneakers getting fined $5,000 a game for every game he wore them. Nike picked that bill. He's culture changing. I understand you guys say, oh, this guy did that, this boxer did this baseball player did that, this guy. Nobody did with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan changed the culture. I was going to the block, and the drug dealers, the blacks, the Spanish, they weren't even really listening to hip-hop, weren't wearing Jordans. Okay? The Italian kids put Jordans on the map. Hold on 1 second. I want to clean my room. I'm out of here by this time. All right, guys. I'm going to jump back on from a different location because I got to get this room clean. So is 103 on right now? Get back up on here. I want to thank everybody when I come back. All right? Kobe's the great. Kobe's the great. All right? Curry, decent ball player. He'll never finish his last game before he retires with 50-plus points like Kobe and Jordan did. Two greatest basketball players of all time. But listen, I'm a Knicks fan. Jordan was my favorite athlete of all time. I have a brother who I don't speak too much. He could tell you he sent me a Wings poster in '88. But I was wearing a Chicago Bulls starter jacket that I couldn't afford. I bought a youth size because it was cheaper. It was skin tight on me when everybody was wearing baggy because I couldn't afford the adult size. And nobody had any idea why I was walking around with a Bulls coat. I've been following Jordan right after Carolina and a little bit into Carolina. And then right after that, his career. Jordan was a great ball player. And I'm going to get back to you guys in about... Let me get out of here so they can clean the room. And then I'll jump back on and we'll finish this live. Spread the word. Put it out there. I want to see 500. Let me get 500 guys on here today and women. I want to see guys and women on here today. 500. Let's hit 500. Let's live stream it if I'm getting on for the first time. We'll be going out throughout the day, all right? Stay up. Stay tuned. Jindan.